All right, today we're gonna make a format page. So for technical drawings, this is a format page. So I have a page, my technical drawings are gonna go in this area, and I have three boxes. I have my name, I have the name of the drawing, and I have the date. So let's start with that. I'm gonna use a couple of tools. I have a piece of paper right here. I'm at the edge of the table. Let's see if we can go back a little bit so we can see the edge of the table. Yeah, you can probably see the edge of the table. Good. And I have a T-square that also has a ruler on it. And then I have a triangle that has 90 degrees, 60 degrees, and 30 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to put my paper straight. That's going to help. I also have four pieces of tape right here. Put them right here for now. That I'm going to tape the corners down. So first, I'm going to make sure that my paper is straight. So I have my T-square. As you can see, it's against the edge. And then I'm going to pull the paper so it's at 2 inches. That's going to be easier if it's at one of these straight inches. And then I'm going to make sure it's exactly the same length. So if I see this corner right up here is beginning to disappear, go up a little bit, bam. So see, I have the same distance here as here, bam. So as soon as it's straight, I'm going to tape my opposite sides. So I tape right. Whoop, I moved it a little bit. There we go. So I tape this corner, and I moved it again. And I tape this corner, and then I move it. I tape this corner, and I tape this corner. And then I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to verify that it's straight. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Bam. Yeah, so my paper is basically parallel. The edge of the paper is parallel to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I basically need a half-inch border, half-inch border, half-inch border, half-inch border. So the easiest thing is to, on this side of the paper, I start at 2, that's the edge of my paper. I go to 2.5 right here. And the end of it is at, bam, at 10.5. So I go to 10, bam. I go back to this guy and I go to 10 inches and I go from 2 to 2.5. So I have a half inch down, half inch down, half inch up, half inch up. So now I'm going to make a light line. So basically this guy, yeah, it kind of reaches all the way across. Good. All right. So I can use this guy as an edge, and I'm just going to make a light line, super light, all the way across. Bam. Going to take this guy, lay it on the edges, and I'm going to make a super light line all the way across. Bam. So super light, super light. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to mark half an inch from these edges. I'm going to take, should we take one of these guys? I have another tool, have a ruler right here on this guy. So I'm going to lay it on on the one that says 16, and it has 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12 inches. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to measure half an inch. Bam. I'm going to measure half an inch up here. Bam. I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to put it on half an inch and go back to 0. So half an inch in. Going to put it on half an inch right here, measure back to 0. Okay, so now I have half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, half an inch. Now I'm going to darken the lines between, so I'm going to lay this guy, it's all the way against the edge. So you can see this guy all the way against the edge. And I'm going to slide it so it lines up with my half-inch mark. Good. And then I'm going to make a dark line, not all the way to the end of the paper, but just between the two other lines. Dark line between the two other lines. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to slide it over to my other mark on the other side, my half-inch mark. I'm going to make a dark line between the other two lines. So now I have a dark line a half an inch in, dark line half an inch in, a light line, and a light line. Now I'm going to darken this line and this line between the two other lines. I'm going to lay this guy between the two. Bam. Bam. darken it. I'm going to lay it up here. Bam, right in the corner to the other corner. Bam, darken it. And then I'm going to take an eraser and I'm just going to erase anything outside the edges. So basically I have a frame that's 1/2 inch from the edges. Bam. Now I'm going to make this box this stuff goes in. So that's going to be another dark line that's in 1/2 inch up. So I have this line, this line, this line, this line, and I'm going to go 1/2 inch up again. So I can use this ruler if you like. I can use the one in here. So if I lay it on, right, my edge is at 2 inches. 2.5 inches is the first line. So 3 inches, 1/2 inch up is the third line. So I come up at 3 inches, I mark. So now I have 1/2 inch from this line, 1/2 inch from this line, or an inch from the paper, an inch from the paper. So look at. If this was at 2 inches, my mark is at 3 inches. Edge of the paper to the line at 3, or the mark at 3. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to lay this between the two marks that I have, and then I'm going to make a dark line between the other two. So bam. Now I have this line. Now I'm going to make two really light lines. They're going to act as guidelines for writing my name. They're going to be super light. And it's going to be 1/4 inch up, 1/4 inch down. Okay, so I look at this guy. Let's see if we can find it. Bam. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of these guys, I'm going to make an 1/8 inch up, 1/8 inch down. Each of the small lines here is a 1/16. So I'm going to go 2 of these up. So if you look at right here, I have the 2.5 inch line. So I'm going to go to the next, skip the really small one to the next little bit bigger one. It's 1/8 of an inch up. And then I have 3 inches. I skip this guy, go to this guy, and it's an 1/8 of an inch down. So let me zoom in on that so you can see. Bam. So if I look at it on this guy, let's line it up. So I started at 2.5. I skip this guy, that's a 1/16 up, an 1/8 of an inch up. If this guy lines up with a 3 inch, skip this guy, and this guy is an 1/8 of an inch down. So 1/8 of an inch up, 1/8 of an inch down. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I come over. Bam. And I go on this guy. So this guy's a little bit enough, 1/8 of an inch up. So 2 of these guys. Bam. And then this guy, 1/8 of an inch down. Bam. So now I have a line 1/8 of an inch down, 1/8 of an inch down, 1/8 of an inch up, 1/8 of an inch up. And now I'm going to come, bam, and I'm going to make a really light line in between them. Super light, as light as you can. Bam, good. And then on this guy, a light line, as light as you can. Bam. Whoop, I made this guy, should have been a little bit up right here. Made an ugly line. There you go. Bam. So now I can erase anything outside of it. And now I'm going to split this in. So I have a super light line. Bam. Super light line. Bam. I'm going to now divide this in. From this edge, I'm going to have 3 inches in. So I put my rule on 0. Zoom in on it so you can see it. Bam. So 0, 1, 2, 3 inches. I make a mark. And then from the other edge over here, I go to 3 inches and I go 1, 2, 3. So back to 0, I make a mark. I'm going to come make a dark line on each of these guys. Bam. Bam. So now I have 3 boxes. 3 inches, 3 inches, and this guy would be whatever's left over. In my case, it's going to be 4 inches. Okay, so in the first box, you're going to put your last name. Okay, and it's going to be all capital letters. And when I do it, so you can see I have the light lines. Every letter is going to start and end on the guideline. So all of them capital letters, all of them start and end on the guideline. So I go S. You can do this with your own name. T. A. R. G. A. A. R. D. So Stargard, that's going to be the name of whoever did the drawing. So if there's ever a problem, you know who to look for. This is going to be the name of what you're drawing. So it could be the part number, it could be the address of a house, whatever. Jensen's resident, so it could be, Fanblade 37F, whatever you might be. In our case, this one is going to be format page. So I go format page, all capital letters, every letter start and end of the line. FORMAT. So format page. Bam, format page. And then the last one is going to be the date. So today is 8/22. So 8, every letter number start and end of the line. 22, bam, 23. And we have the date on there. So if I'm doing a drawing and I make a revision to it, it's going to have the same name. Whatever one has the newest date is the correct one. So bam. So now I have my format page. Bam. So it looks exactly the same as this one. We're going to need, if everything goes right, 3, 6, 7, at least 7 of them, but maybe more. 1, 2, 8, 9, at least 9 of them. So check it out. When I take it off, I don't want to rip the paper. So I take the tape out this way. If I do it this way, I'm probably going to rip the paper. So look. Always take it out away from the paper. Bam, like this. So I want to take it away from the paper. I'm going to take it off this way. Bam. I want to take it away from the paper. Away this way. And away from the paper. Bam, this way. So when we grade these guys, what we are looking for when I grade them, we are looking for, are your lines nice and straight? Is it half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, half an inch? Half an inch up, 3 inches, 3 inches, and then 1/8 of an inch up, 1/8 of an inch down. Super light lines for the guidelines is what we're looking for. Bam. And then does it look kind of nice and clean? So those are the things we're looking for, and we're going to make a bunch of these.